Wow, this is just incredible what you're hearing from the governor right now in terms of New Mexico. Joe Borelli, you may have thought that maybe after Title 42 went away and we saw some stabilization, things would begin to get better. They're worse than ever, and the cartels are running Mexico, pocketing billions of dollars. They're the ones who are deciding who comes into this country and who doesn't.
Well, right, Maria. And for me, the most remarkable thing about this interview is that you take the two issues that you just put that clip up about. You have Greg Abbott talking about how to secure his state's infrastructure and really his state's commerce from a foreign entity, China. And you have him talking about how he's basically conducting foreign policy through the construction of his own border wall. And the only thing I can think about is the abdication of Joe Biden on issues that are fundamental to the federal government. These have always been federal responsibilities. And by the way, I'm a New Yorker. It's happening right here. We have Mayor Adams running the world's refugee camp here. These are things that just indicate that Joe Biden is really not fit to be president if he is allowing governors, not just Greg Abbott. We have DeSantis. We have many in between. Both parties, by the way, some of them doing a good job, but they are taking over the role of the federal government on so many more and more policy issues where Joe Biden just seems to be absent.
Yeah, and of course, the border was really a priority for President Trump. I sat down for an exclusive interview with the 45th president last night. It will air on Sunday Morning Futures on Fox News. But we discussed the border and what can be done now. Watch.
I had the safest border in the history of our country. I built massive miles of wall and was going to put up another 200 miles. Everything was built. They just had to erect it. Would have taken 3 weeks, far beyond my statement about building a wall. I was way over. I mean, what we did was incredible. But between the wall and Mexico, when you say Mexico, I got Mexico. You know what? I got them to pay for 28,000 soldiers on our border. You know, people said, well, Mexico. Well, Mexico did pay. They gave me free of charge 28,000 soldiers.
Rebecca, now what I'm told is the cartels are pretty much running Mexico. The cartels are in charge. I mean, this is really an incredible story that we've been covering now for several years. You don't see a lot about this elsewhere.
Maria, both the Chinese fentanyl problem and the Chinese longitudinal plan, they have a 100-year strategy of taking over the world, and the Mexican cartels. This is really presenting a federalism issue. Greg Abbott last year had said that he would even maybe bring militarized vehicles from the Texas National Guard and boats and those kinds of things into their Rio Grande. So, you know, this is going to be a constitutional crisis if it doesn't get resolved. And states like Texas, Florida, not Arizona right now, are going to have to say this has got to stop, and we have to have strong Republican leadership that will take on this administration. This administrative executive branch that's supposed to be enforcing the laws is doing what a lot of progressives have had a lot of success doing since 2020, which is just ignoring the laws. You know, no cash bail, these things are just not enforcing the laws that are on the books. So if we just get enforcement, we could get back to some level of normalcy, but this is outrageous. And people that actually tune into anything that's happening at the border, if you watch it for 20 minutes and learn the facts, you'll be disgusted to learn what is coming into our country that could be in your kids' candy every single day.
It's really scary. And President Trump came up with priorities, a list of the things that he would want to do on day one. And in his first 100 days, should he get the chance again after 2024's election. We're going to take